All right, one more live trade taking for you guys tonight here, okay? So people, originally, back to my last trade if you're following, it made this huge channel like that. It broke to the upside, and then it came right back down. And it tested that green line. So that green line right there is formulated from way back over here. It literally made a perfect touch. Okay, so that's a really bullish movement going to the upside right now. I'm in it for $76,000 and I'm up 1,000 already. Really fast move. It bounced right off of this green line, like literally right off of it. So this is a really solid play here. The way that I entered it, if we take a look right here, if we go on the 5-minute 55 EMA, actually close to there, like the channel, I mean, the resistance, the original resistance, that's from where the breakout happened. See how the 55 EMA, it coincides with that 55, sorry, the slope resistance, and then it breaks out of it, comes back down. Well, the last thing you want to do is enter on here. You don't want to enter here, okay? You don't want to enter here once again. This is a bad entry. Entering right there at the bottom is very risky. You do not want to do something like that ever. What you want to do is confirm the confirmation, first of all, of a break to the upside from the original resistance that you see here. Okay, so that's important. If you had long there, you could have risked just dropping down. That is something that's very common that happens if you're longing at the supports on the bottom. Okay, you don't long at a support. Don't do that. You long when there's confirmation of a break. If you long there, okay, you're hoping. Think of the psychology. You're hoping that it's bouncing up, but all of a sudden it goes down. Your bias is so strongly leaned towards a long and a bounce that you desperately want because you're longing at the most critical moment. That when something actually happens and it goes against you, you're just a deer in the headlights. You're just struck there and you don't know what to do and you're stuck. So then when you're just shocked that it goes against you because your expectations are so hard already to long at this specific price point, when it goes against you, you just don't know what to do a lot of the times. I'm in that position a lot when I'm shorting in specific situations. I don't like to be in those situations. So now what I do is I adjust my strategy to long here at the breakout instead. That's very important to understand, that this breakout is super important to understand. Okay, so that's where we long on a breakout. I teach a lot of this stuff in my course version 2.0, which I highly recommend that people pick up. Course version 2.0 is much better than my old one. We're basically adding 7 years of experience total trading and going from a $50,000 position size trader to literally a $1.5 million up to $1.5 million trader. That's a big difference. Also, I'm sharing with you my big 6 strategies. There's only 50 copies left. I only made 100 copies total, where I'm getting back from the publisher or the manufacturer who's making my books for me. And that's it. 50 copies. Goes for $1,750. And you're going to also get access to Discord for 1 full year. Discord for a year with me is normally $600 a year. But now all of a sudden you're getting it for $1,750. So the course is really only $1,150 when you think about it, which is a really fucking good course. So now you just ride it. The 45 minutes about to cross over upwards. The 30-minute crossed already. This is most likely a very bullish run in my opinion. That was huge. See, this is called a Wi-Fi curve. I first noticed this kind of curvature on RSI on Wi-Fi way back then. And when you get a Wi-Fi curve like this to the upside, like when you get the price steadily drops like that, but you see this curvature where it wants to break upwards, and then you just wait for that one right there, high low with a lower low price, and then you just skyrocket to the upside. So this was a solid entry. Have you noticed my leverage is actually ×1? I don't need to leverage high because I'm not a greedy trader. So I think that this is a really great trade to have taken. I'm going to screenshot this from my group. You know, like the thing is, even if you know exactly what trade setups to take, a lot of people can't keep up. You know, like they can't make that decision to actually take the same trades because the confidence and the skills is different, and the discipline especially. So when you don't have that same type of discipline to take these trades, you're not going to be nearly as successful. That's why copying just simply doesn't work. Literally, copying trades just doesn't work in my eyes, because even if you see a guy make a trade, are you gonna really go blindly and stupidly in the same trade? That's just ridiculous, in my opinion. If anybody tries to actually copy a trade, it's just really, really silly, in my opinion. So let's see if this is gonna break to the upside. The 45-minute just gave a nice one. Let's see now that this might be a bull trap again. It needs to make another wave, because the only thing that I count in here is that so far there needs to be another wave to the upside. Okay, unless that's just some ABC correction and then I'm wrong, and then it breaks to the downside and again we smash through it. So this count is obviously impossible to count. Literally, it's impossible to count. You're not going to be able to count this at all. So don't bother counting it. Just play it off of supports, resistances, and price action. Alright, here's the last wave that's forming for this first impulse wave going to the upside. Here's it breaking upwards now. That's great. So this is a great entry, isn't it? It's just literally like the best entry that one could ever ask for in life. But whenever I make a good entry at 5:30 in the morning, I think to myself, is it time to go to sleep? I'm really tired today. I would love to actually get one night of good rest in my life. It's been a long time since I've actually slept properly, because I've been busy writing this book of mine a lot. So does that make sense? Again, I really want to teach you guys. I really want to teach you guys like the rules of trading. You know, like you can't enter on the bottom there at a support. You just fucking can't do it. The risk is insane, and you just can't do that, guys. The risk is too insane to drop to the downside. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna take this probably now. It's going really nice. Shit, it's really going. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna market execute this right now. I'm just way too tired. So here's $2,500. Market executed. We ended up longing it on the breakout. So today I'm up quite a bit. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense, that you had to wait until the breakout over here to actually long it, okay? Like this one was if you entered on the breakout here, like right there, you know, like right there on the breakout of the channel, which people do, right? I enter all the time on channel thinking it's going to break upwards, but I'm not going to enter there or there ever or there, because it's nowhere even close to a relevant support. So it makes no sense for me to enter it, right? It makes no sense at all. Like this is not a strong enough reason, especially when a coin does something like 300%. You want to really long it at a really good opportunity that's very, very confluent with many places, and that place right there is not here. This is death, okay, to long it there. Okay, so what you want to do is you really want to wait. You really want to wait until it tests it first. Let it test. Just because you didn't get the bottom, who cares? You didn't get the bottom, big whoop. But what you did do is you prevented yourself from having major risk of it going to the downside. Does that make sense? So there's major risk of it dropping there. And if it does drop there, you're going to be in a world of fucking hurting. Because what happens on major supports like that, is this major support right here, okay, could really just fall through because it's a major support. It's not going to be a little tug. It's going to be a violent drop where the bulls capitulate and they say, fuck that, we're done. And then all of a sudden you're down like thousands of dollars and you don't know what to do, or hundreds of percentages, or what. I can't speak properly. You're down a big percentage because of the violent drop that just happened, and now you're like, oh shit, what did I do? You're sitting there thinking about it. We have to factor in the psychological aspect of that, right? And the psychological aspect of that is that, what the fuck do you do? That's right. So I got a really good gain there. I got a 3% gain. That was an incredible position that I took there. I only played, how much did I play there? I don't even know. What? Why doesn't it tell me? Oh, whatever. I played 24. I only played 80,000. I only played ×1 leverage. So that was a really good trade to have taken there. So make sure you're waiting. Okay, take my advice. Trust me, you don't want to long ever as support just because you see a support. Wait for confirmation. The first trade you took there, it was on a 5-minute breakout. That's where, okay, you look for. I'm not gonna tell you guys my strategies. Fuck that. I was about to tell you a lot more, but I'm like, why am I doing that? Guys, think of getting my course. Seriously, like, you think of going to university, and the university per year in Canada is like $5,000. My course gets you into my group for a year for $1,750. You get a huge textbook. You also get a 28-hour lectures, like. And you're also buying it from, Bitcoin.com's 2018's #1 trader, voted by them, on top of being published with a lot of crazy people like John McAfee. And, you're buying it from someone very credible. I'm not trying to just sell you guys bullshit content, like, I had to take off a month and a half of serious trading to actually make this course. So when you think of the cost that it took me to actually take time off, and I'm only selling 100, I'm sorry to say, but like, it doesn't even make up for the cost of the loss of profits that I'm making, or like, it barely covers it, put it that way. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video of mine and you really learned something from it. Okay, bye now, good night. Yo, what's up, guys? I'm gonna teach you something very valuable. How did I catch this coin? First of all, zoom far out. Okay, zoom far out, you see this. Never, you see this long trend line. Never, ever, 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 ever in your life buy there at a support. Never fucking do that. Okay? The reason why you don't is because it's a heavy trend line that formed over a long period of time. Okay? And the reason you don't buy is because capitulation could happen very easily. And if it's a long-term trend line support like that, there's also a massive chance that it could just drop to the downside violently. And if you are in a long position there, your bias is very strong, long, hoping for a bounce, wanting a bounce. You need a bounce because you bought risking huge at the bottom there, right? And all of a sudden, if the price drops to the downside, you don't know what to do. You're like a deer in the headlights. You're just frozen. It's going to be such a violent drop that, trust me, when I tell you, psychologically, when you factor that into trading, you will be in fucking shock that you're going to be down so much you won't even know what to do. So you don't ever buy at these long support trend lines like that, okay? It's risky. Trust me, you're going to lose more than you win over time, okay? I don't recommend it at all in any way, okay? So you draw that long-ass channel, first of all, and clearly you entered on the 55 EMA and the slope trend line resistance on the breakout, right? It's clearly you got trapped. Some people would have taken profit, like me, which I took 3,000 on that one, right? No, 2.8K or something. No, 3,000, yeah. And then but if you didn't take profit, your stop would have been as soon as it retraced back into the trend line here, into the channel, right? So your stop would have been literally 1% at most, right? So then it goes back down, hits the trend line, and you don't buy it there. You don't fucking buy it there. You go on a really low time frame and you buy in the breakout of the channel again. Because this is just a trend line. a trend line retest that it's doing. Okay, so you buy it on the breakout, the fucking breakout, right there. That's where I bought it. Look, this is where I bought mine. Okay, look, I bought mine literally at 8945. That's where I was doing it earlier. Okay, 8945. So these are my trades today. Check it out. Okay, if you guys are curious to see, there's the first people trade. Hold on, where is it? Oh, there's the Gala trade, right? There's the Gala trade at 299 something, and I closed at 307. That's a good long there. And then there's the people trade. I bought at 9298. Actually, I can't even see it. Or sorry, 9169. Then I closed it at 9298. That's my second long, right? And then there's the Axis short as well, right? That's the Axis short. Actually, I'm like losing track of my trades. This is weird. And then there's this people one right there where I bought at 8985, 8945. Take a look at the price of 8945. This is my entry, okay? It wasn't a great entry, 8945. And then I added more on strength. But I zoomed in. Look at right there. That's where I entered. I zoom in. Literally, I zoomed in. And I noticed the volume picking up. Really picking up. This guy, this motherfucker right there, that guy right there in the 15-second really made me add more. So we tried to go back down, but we simply went up. And then they broke above this trend line. That was my signal to enter with more. Okay, that's what you do.